Hey guys, Joe here, the Joe Madden Sports Podcast, joined this afternoon by Kiev O'Neill of Oddsbreakers. Kiev, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me, Joe. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to have you on. Like I said before this, it feels like, so long ago that I've had you on. I'm sure so much has gone on for you. We've had so many games in between, but it's an honor to have you back.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, it's time. It goes fast, but then you feel like it was longer ago than it was, especially when you're so busy and you have all these fantastic guests.
Absolutely. So you got to update me. What's happening at the Oddsbreakers right now?
Not much different than before. Just I'm working hard on football because it's a passion of mine. Football is my favorite sport. And I don't have the stresses or the pressures working on football in the summer, so I kind of enjoy it more than I do during the week when I'm really trying to find value within the lines. So it's almost like a relaxation type thing for me to look at football right now, which makes me almost love it more, right?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, with you being a football fan, do you have your favorite teams?
Oh yeah, well I'm a recovering Bears fan, so
I
it's
love
not
that.
like being a Bears fan is probably the one of the main reasons I became a sports bettor, so I can actually enjoy sports. But that's just another topic of conversation. I mean, the Bears, I can't stand the ownership.
Yep.
I have to be pessimistic on them every year. I don't like them this year. All the fans think they see 8 wins. I don't see how. I mean, it's just one of those situations that would take a miracle to get to 8 or 9 wins, in my opinion. I'm okay with betting against my teams because, why would you waste that information? If you're a fan of
Yeah.
something, you should not be biased to go against it, especially when they're like a favorite, right?
Yeah.
You can bet against them a team and they could still win. You win the bet, your team wins, right? Perfect
Yeah,
situation.
absolutely. It always confuses me when someone says, my team's not going to win, but I'm not going to bet it because I can't bet against my team. Well, I like money better than hurting.
Yeah.
Whose feelings am I hurting betting against and making money?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Plus, you're right. You feel justified, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we have an NHL game tonight with the Rangers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Do you have any thoughts on this tonight?
You know, I was close to making a bet, but there's probably some good derivative lines here. And I'm not completely into the NHL. I have another guy named Patrick Gates on my site that is absolutely fantastic at the NHL. And I kind of follow what he does a little bit. But, from a perspective, I'm a situational bettor when it comes to sports I don't know as much. Like, the Lightning, um, great spot last game, down 2-1. It was a win for me.
Yeah.
Minus 110 regulation, minus 174 the game itself. That was the spot. But now they're back in New York. It's series tied at 2-2. I can easily see the Rangers winning, but why are they not favorite? They're sitting there at plus
Yeah.
105 here. Well, it's because Tampa Bay's more skilled. They're more skilled. I know that the Rangers have had that really shut down defense, but something's in that goalie's head now. He gave up the last 2 games in a row. I can't trust the Rangers at plus 105, and the Lightning's a better team, yet they're on the road coming off 2 wins. It's a pretty tight line for me. I'm probably just going to, pass on this one and enjoy other sports. It's okay to pass when you don't see value.
That is a great point to make. It's okay to pass when you don't see value. A lot of people feel like they have to get something out. You can't push it.
Yeah, you don't want to push bets ever unless you want to be in a negative EV better. You're just giving away money to the books if that's the case. You got to pick your spots, try to always get in front of the line. In the
Yeah,
long run,
absolutely.
line value is going to do a lot better for you than having reverse line value, negative line value. That's really what it is. It's you against the market when it comes to sports betting. But hockey, a little bit more of a pass for me. The NBA is a little bit more interesting for me coming up this tomorrow here.
Yeah. So, what did you think of those first couple of games that we've seen here? We saw game 3, Boston take the win. Can they get it done again?
Yeah, they can. And NBA is very momentum driven, and it's almost like a story in itself. There are situations that happen in the NBA. For example, the Warriors are just fantastic after halftime. Third quarter, the Warriors are just killing it. You'd be nuts to not bet the Warriors right now. You can get it at plus 100, minus 105 in the third period or the third quarter period. Third quarter right now, they're going to win the third quarter. Just
What do you think the
that's
coach
what
is
they do.
saying in that locker room at halftime?
Steve
Like,
Kerr's just got to. I mean, they've been together for a long time. They
yeah,
gel together. They feel they bounce off each other's energy, I guess, in
yeah,
halftime. So I'm not there, but I know that they're a team that's been together and they kind of put it together. They also seem to start out slow. It's a
yeah,
tell for me. This is still Boston at home. Boston wants to take it. I think there's a good shot that Boston might win this first quarter, but I really like the fact that Golden State is probably, no matter what's going to happen, if they're down, if they're up, I think they're going to win the third quarter. I'm going to give out a play Golden State in the third quarter, no matter what.
yeah.
Now, the rest of the line, I see some 3.5s minus 115. Right here at DraftKings, I see a 4. The total's 214.5, with the last one go to 216. It was like right at the total. Probably lean under for me here. I think the defenses are going to probably try to step it up a little bit. Golden State's going to play a little bit harder. I'll give you a strong lean to the under, but the +4 scares me a little bit here. This is a situation where the Golden State knows they cannot be put back on their toes, and they can regain home court advantage with this win over here. I think the league kind of likes to see longer series when it comes to it. They make more money if it's 7 games. I don't want to get any conspiracy theories, but it seems like the team that's down gets favored a little bit when it comes to officiating, things like that. Crowd obviously makes a difference. I'm not sure if I'm going to touch that, but I do know that Golden State is going to have a great third quarter. Well, that's what I think. I think that Boston's probably going to have a very good first quarter, and I definitely have a strong lean to the under in this series.
Yeah, this spread with 4 points. It's a hard one to call for sure. Any concerns with Steph Curry? We know that he got hurt pretty bad last night, but then still kept playing. Any thoughts on his health?
Yeah, Steph's I think he's all right. I think he's pretty good at doing what he has to obviously create perception. And I would never, the fact that he came back fine, I'm gonna handicap this game like he's fine. I know he's the best player in this whole series, these teams. You would pick Steph Curry first, but after Steph Curry, you would probably grab 2 or 3 Boston guys, right?
Absolutely.
I think that the next best 2 or 3 players are Boston, and then you might get down to a Klay Thompson or a Draymond Green or a Poole. But Boston's deep. They have a great bench. They're young. They're hungry. It's going to be a fun series. I think it goes 7.
I hope it goes 7 from a fan and betting perspective. Now, are there any players that you're really have been targeting for prop bets and anything that you're looking at coming up?
Not really. I think that Golden State might get extra bought a little bit harder while they're going to really turn up their defense. So I'm going to lean unders on the props. I haven't got to the market yet. I know Tatum and Brown there's props on them. They have 20 points. Marcus Smart's doing a great job. I haven't gotten into the props yet, but I'm going to lean under on the player points for sure, just because I think this is an under game coming in right now. And if you're going to bet under on props, I would wait a little bit.
Okay, great advice there. Do you have any advice on live betting? Are you a live bettor at all, Kiev?
I live bet personally. I sometimes tweet it out every once in a while. I probably tweet out maybe like 5% of my live bets. Yeah, I live bet. I live bet in situations, personal hedges on personal plays, things like that. But the truth is if you're always laying juice on live betting, you have to be that much more right, 55% right. So keep that in mind. I try to look at situations on how teams bounce back. Sometimes there's just fourth quarter teams. Fourth quarter teams come through, and I'm not talking about these NBA finals. I'm just talking about in general. Clutch players and things like that. Sometimes it sets up for them. I look at how these teams done in these situations before, rather than just kind of be like, oh well, this team's down, they're probably going to come back because they were favored at the home. I mean, that's what the book wants you to do. The book says, oh, they were favored before, so now that they're down, everyone's going to hammer them. That's what they want to do. But for the most part, live betting is a personal thing, and
Mm-hmm.
by the time you tweet it out, that number's gone anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be right there on your phone to get those lines. It's a talent to be able to live bet. But Kiev, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today. Can you remind everyone where to find you and everything that you have going on with all of your shows?
Yeah, obviously the oddsbreakers.com. You can check us out at the website. We also have a show, Better Odds Sports Betting. Love that show as well. I do that with Kyle Hunter a lot. Joe's going to come on next week. I'm just so excited to grow the Odds Breakers. We have a great bunch of honest handicappers that are transparent, and that's what we care about, is transparent people that don't lie, people that are honest. Check us out at the oddsbreakers.com. We now have our NFL packages up as well. We wanted to get them early to give people early bird discounts and kind of get that going. Very excited about the NFL, but you don't even have to be a member because we give out free plays anyway.
Absolutely.
It might not be our top rated play, but we're always going to give out information because we love it. It's a passion of ours. We love writing paragraphs on each game and see what sticks. And that's the whole motivation at the Oddsbreakers. We want to be the Sports Illustrated of sports betting.
Absolutely. You guys are absolutely crushing it in the market, Kiev. Thank you for everything that you do for everyone.
Oh, thank you for having me, Joe. Have a great rest of your week.
Yeah, have a fantastic week. You guys, I will be back at the top of the hour with another Joe Madden Sports Podcast. Kiev, have a wonderful day.